Thing on. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Earth, earth to earth. I want to talk about a project that I've been working on since, I say, the spring of 2021. It is called Bleeding Rainbows, and I just want to speak about the project. I've done most of the animation. I basically did something that when I went to my film class, because right now I'm at SAIC, when I went to my film class, literally they were like, don't do that. I basically made a featured film, but in the length of a short film. And so there's so many moving parts. There's not a lot of dialogue, unless really the only amount of dialogue that's a lot is between two characters named Blue and Joseph. And I'll talk about the characters later, but there's not a lot of dialogue, and right now I'm sitting here trying to put things together. I make the music, and then I improvise the script, and then I'm sitting here trying to get my characters right, and then I had to go back to my storyboards, and I have to go back and do some other stuff, then I have to talk to that person, then that person declines my offer about the voice acting, but that person didn't, but then that person gave me something, and they're not doing what I need, and then I'm like, wait, can we do it like this? And they're like, I don't get it, and I'm like, never mind, like, it's like a whole thing. I'm going to sit there and talk about the premise of Bleeding Rainbows. So, Bleeding Rainbows is basically about two people. Blue and Joseph, they are friends in the short film. Blue is someone who, like his mother, is gifted with the ability to connect to spiritually beyond, so like the spirit realm. Very ambiguous what the spirit realm is. It isn't supposed to represent anything else in other religions, because this is, again, about the rapture, book of Revelation. So a lot of different things happen at once, and it's sort of trying to have this big concoction of different things happening and how it's affecting the characters and their humanity, and how love brings them through it and how they make it through love. And so when I decided to make the characters Blue and Joseph, I decided to come up with the concept of them being able to connect to something spiritually beyond, kind of like getting messages from heaven, but also being able to get messages from hell. And sort of that look into, if you grew up in the church, especially the black church, this emphasis on the anointing, having a spiritual gift. Even if you look at other stuff like what's been blowing up lately, like spirituality, you know, going back to your African roots, stuff like that. There's a lot of people in religions throughout history who feel this sort of mindset of we are the chosen ones. And so I guess I'm going into those ideas of people who, what if you were actually the chosen one? Would that actually benefit you? Would it actually be how people from all other religions deem it to be, like this amazing thing, special helpers? Would that actually mean that that sort of exempts you from being somebody who is a bad person or does bad things or resents God? Does that automatically mean that you love God? Or does that automatically mean that you love your creator? But in this context, it would be specifically God, considering that the story is surrounded by Christianity. So then the rapture happens, and with his friend Joseph, he represents just regular people. You know, he does not have this special gift. He does not have the whole being able to see. He believes in God. At least you can insinuate that based off of the family that he's in. He believes in God, but he is not someone who is sort of like, you know, I can see beyond. When it comes to the animation in itself is very different. It is a rotoscope, but it isn't a rotoscope. A lot of what I wanted to do, I try to play this fine line of, oh, it looks like you just drew over frames. Oh, it actually looks like you actually, you know, rotoscope, you animated over it. So it's like a fine line between it's animated, but it's not. I animated the characters onto the footage. Most of the footage I took from my phone, if not from the phone, from my Apple tablet. And I would sit there and take the footage, put the footage onto the Apple tablet and use the classic stop motion app. If you've done stop motion before, you know the blue stop motion app. I would take the footage, put it on the stop motion app, and then it would literally convert all of the footage into frames, okay? And then you would sit there, rinse, repeat, and animate over the frames and do what you want to do. I would animate over the frames with original characters. So all of my characters, you know, I would just animate over the frames, right? It's so funny because right now in my film class, I literally hate doing storyboards, but when it's my own projects, I'm like, oh my gosh, storyboards, like I love it, you know? In terms of voice acting, okay, I wanted to talk about the voice acting, you know. The voice acting is a big thing for this film. I really want natural voice acting. That's very tricky. That's very hard to do because it's hard to direct because they don't really know the certain way you're supposed to do it. But I'm really thinking about doing like not voice actors because voice actors, they've been trained, you know, to act with a voice. And so it's kind of like they have a certain way that they do certain things. And it's a because the intention of the film is supposed to represent real people. But I don't want to give away everything. You know, I'm already giving footage. I'm already giving a little taste, a little sliver. I don't want to give away everything about Bleeding Rainbows. But I just wanted to let my fans, my people out there know about an upcoming project. You know, let the school know if they want to participate. You know, I'm always in the whisper room. I'm always at SAIC, School of Art Institute of Chicago. I'm always available. Let me know. Hit me up. Email me. I'm going to put my email down. I'm going to put my socials down. Let me know. And I will let you know how we're going to get it done. But I just wanted to talk about my film. I wanted to talk about my developments. And, yeah, that's all. So, peace out, everybody.